Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Carrie's Gardening Channel. So today is July 29th, 2022, and I wanted to give you a tour of some of the flower beds, show you what's blooming, and talk to you a little bit about what I have coming up and some different things that I have growing for overwinter crops. So have my status down here. You can see it's blooming, and since my flower bed was redone from last year when we took the tractor through and we got most of the stuff out of here, there's a lot of things that grow in my flower bed now that never would before. You can see my marigolds back there. And sometimes flower beds just need redone. See, there's a hummingbird moth down here. Where'd it go? There it is. We have a lot of them around this year. They love the status. When I'm cutting the status and I have it in my bucket for my cut flowers, they'll actually come and they'll start drinking the nectar out of the flowers that I cut. Now we do still have some quite a bit of weeds in this flower bed that we're still working to get out of here. Over here, we can't do anything with that right now. There is a bee's nest in there, and it's underground, and we don't want to get in that and get stung, so we're trying to figure out what to do with that over there. There's a hummingbird in the tree. And we do have quite a bit of hummingbirds around this year. And my rose mallow's blooming. Now these blooms only last for one day, and then that's it. But they have a lot of blooms coming on them still. Now the sun's coming out. See more of the vibrant colors. Some black-eyed Susans there. Have a nice patch of Gomphrena here. The gladiolus are getting ready to bloom. That's going to be a beautiful purple one there. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. Tried some Celosia in here, but still grows better in containers, and it grows the best in the greenhouse. This is a false sunflower there. These can be highly invasive and they take over like crazy, so you do have to keep them in check. Everything's wet from the rain yesterday, so I can't do any harvesting until everything dries off. So I thought today would be a perfect day to do a video. And this is my limon here, and I've been getting cuttings. I've been cutting from this. This is it does keep blooming quite a bit, and it has gone to seed already. And I took, and cut the stems, and it did keep blooming for me. So when I first put this in, with all the pest damage from what got into the greenhouses, I wasn't sure if this was even going to make it, but it's a very hardy plant, and I'm really looking forward to getting to work with it. You can see what the blooms look like here, and I grow this for the berry part, which is right here. Now you do have to watch when you harvest these, and I'll do a video for harvesting these. They are quick to go to seed. But like I said, they will continue to keep blooming for you, from what I've seen. But compared to what these look like when I first put them in, they grew a lot. This is a small patch of straw flowers with some marigolds mixed in. And this is the Park Whopper marigold here. You can see these here are just starting to come into bloom. That's a pretty color there. It's like a yellow with, like, it looks sort of like a sunset in a way. Straw flowers are one of my favorite crops to grow. We have a volunteer cosmos seedling from last year out in the yard. And my Laratris bulbs that were planted are going to start blooming soon. Now we do have to watch with the high humidity at night. We are starting to get some powdery mildew. And that's going to need to be taken care of because I don't want that to spread anywhere. There's a little rose bush back there getting ready to bloom. But, I mean, this here is out in the open. It definitely gets airflow, but what's happening is at night, we're getting so much humidity that it's just trying to produce powdery mildew on the stuff. And we're finding it in the grass, too, so it's out in the yard, and it's just kind of something that's just trying to take hold, and we just need to take care of it. This is I believe it's pronounced Pikachu hydrangea. This will turn pink. You can see there it's starting to turn pink. Some on that one there. It's a color changing hydrangea. It goes from white to pink. And I'm gardening in Pennsylvania Zone 5B, and this is a very hardy hydrangea for me. It's bloomed every year that I've had it. And I'm really happy about that because you don't always find that. I did do a video on my channel for this variety. You can check that out on there. And we have a big Corpius plant there. And some lavender, more Corpius, some chrysanthemums. And that over there is a Salvia. A few of those along the back. So we had to re-fence the rose bushes off because of the deer. I had like 15 blooms coming on this, I'm trying to think what it is. Ingrid Bergerman rose bush. And I had gotten my first blooms off of it. I harvested those and had like 15 more coming on it, and the deer ate it. So we had to re-fence the entire rose garden that I put in last year, and I think I have like one or two blooms coming now, but I'm hoping that it regrows back out so I can get my blooms off of it. Now some of these, they were blooming earlier. They're starting to regenerate to start blooming again. And I got quite a bit of blooms off of these here. And, you know, I'm just waiting for them to regrow back out. When you start seeing the red growing on them like that, that's when they're going to start getting ready to bloom again because it's growing the new growth out. And your new blooms will be at the tips of that growth. So this is a mix of different knockout roses and easy elegance roses along with the hybrid teas. So this is the old greenhouse here. I said I had some plans coming up for some overwinter crops. Now we still are in July. We're about at the end of July. But I did start some perennials because we did put in some brand new perennial flower beds where it's only perennials going in there. So I have some Laratris. This in here is a Florestan White variety, and some of these, the seeds got put down too far, so not all of them came up for me. We were also having where a mouse got into the greenhouse and was eating the seeds, so that could also be what happened to some of them. But they do have an irregular germination rate, so I'm still, waiting for some of them to see if they'll come up for me. But this one here is getting its true leaves here. And I am making sure that I feed them because I want them to be bigger plants for when we put them out. And they should last over the winter time. They are perennial in my growing zone. So I should have them for next year because they take a whole year for these to bloom from seed. So we have some yarrow here. And we have some more yarrow here and back here. These here should be ready to be transplanted soon, and I will show you the new perennial flower bed. One of them. The other one's pretty far out, but here's another patch of yarrow. And then we got some more yarrow here. I'm doing an overwinter crop in the greenhouse of winged everlastings. We are still dealing with whiteflies, and the ladybugs cannot take care of the adult whiteflies. They can only take care of the nymphs, so all this stuff's been sprayed. The ladybugs stayed in the bed house, but they did not stay in the old greenhouse, and they did not stay in the second greenhouse that was built. I think it gets too warm in here, and there might not be enough foliage coverage for them to hide under, but that's kind of just my opinion. I think, they wanted to go outside and get the stuff out there. So this here is a different type of verbena that I'm growing. This here is going to be a greenhouse crop, and I'll put the name of this variety on the video. This one here, I thought it was a perennial for our zone. I was kind of in a hurry when I was buying this stuff, and I missed where it was a tender perennial in my growing zone, so I'm growing it as a greenhouse crop. And I will do a video later on for how to grow this from seed. This is the first time I ever grew it, so I'm learning how to get it to grow, and I'm learning, I know they said you don't want to overwater it, so I'm really kind of monitoring how I water it and, watching what it does. And this is a Salvia. Let's see what this one here is. Victoria Blue. This is a Victoria Blue Salvia. You can see there are some whiteflies on it, but this was sprayed. So that should get rid of them. I know there's a spider on here that is eating the whitefly adults. And we have some more yarrow here. This is ready to be transplanted here. We have Tansy. Now Tansy can take over, so that's going to be going in an area where we don't have to worry about if it's going to take over or not. It's not really going to be able to go anywhere the way that we're going to put it in, and we should be able to control it. And being that I'm going to be cutting the flowers, it's not going to be able to go to seed. I know they say it can spread by roots and seeds, but the seeds we're going to be taking the flowers, so shouldn't be able to go by seed. We have more yarrow here. This here is actually ready to be transplanted here. The yarrow down in the hollow garden that we had put in a few years ago, we're going to be taking that out of there. It doesn't like where it's growing at, and it's not growing the best, so we're just going to get it out of there and transplant it into our new perennial flower beds. So I have some more Celosia crops. And this is my, this is the bookleaf Mallow eucalyptus here. This is a dwarf eucalyptus, and it is a very fast growing eucalyptus. I've heard people say that it didn't grow that fast, but to me, it's one of the fastest growing eucalyptus trees that I've ever seen. So this was just transplanted not too long ago, and it's really taking off. The whiteflies did attack this, which I was really surprised about, so we did have to spray it. I had some volunteer lineman seedlings come up. So we're going to be taking these out and we're going to be planting them in something else and letting them grow in the greenhouse. Back here, I don't think you can see it. Look at the stalk on this Celosia here. Look how big that thing is. And back there is a yellow status. Now that's going to have to get moved because of how large my Celosia plants are getting. It's kind of crowding it out back there. And I want to make sure it can get airflow and I can see it so I can harvest the blooms. This is going to be a very late cucumber crop. The first crop of cucumbers I had in here, the mice ate the seeds and it ate all but one of my seedlings. That's the tallest one back there. So I had to restart my crop over again and really looking forward to getting some cucumbers off so we can make some homemade pickles. So I don't know if anyone remembers, but last year, it was in October, I did a video where I was going to try growing gomphrenias, celosia, and bunnytails. I direct seeded them in the swimming pool here. I was going to try and grow them over the winter in the greenhouse. This is still that crop of gomphrenias. And I still have the celosia. We did refresh that and we took out the bunnytails because after getting so many harvests off of them, they were just done. But they went the whole way from October till probably, I'm thinking June is when we took them out. So they gave a long time. But the gomphrenias here, they're still going and they're getting pretty tall. So I have been kind of cutting them. And the harder you cut your gomphrenias and the harder like you cut your marigolds, the more that they're going to actually bloom for you. So this status crop's been in here since last year. It has a few rough spots on it, but you know, they just need cut out and we just keep feeding it. And it's still growing. I mean, it's beautiful blooms. Look at these blooms here. I don't see the dark. There's a real dark purple one that I have. I don't see it blooming right now, but that is so pretty when it blooms. So this is another flower bed here. We had some volunteer celosias come up in here, and they're really doing well. Now this is a raised bed here, and I was surprised with how well they're doing, but see, we have a lot of straw flowers in here. So this is one of my new perennial flower beds here. And this one here, we put the black plastic down, the landscaper's fabric, and we cut the holes out and we planted our plants in here. Now there's still a lot of empty spaces because the yarrow that you've seen in the old greenhouse, some of that's going to be going into here, and then some of it's going to be going into the another new perennial bed that we're working on, where you didn't get that one finished yet because the plants are still growing. But here's another straw flower patch here. And we have flower beds this year. This is just a few of them. They're all over the place this year. We put in a lot of new ones, and the old ones were planted again. And this is just a very small patch of straw flowers compared to some of the other ones. So this here is the new bed house here. You can see a tour of this one here on my channel that I just did this month. And this is some of the second greenhouse. Now we're still battling spider mites in this one here. We think we finally figured out what attracts them so much to this greenhouse. And it's the sand floor. And trying to figure out how to actually fix that, because the whole floor of this greenhouse is sand and it's really dusty. It gets hot, it gets dry. And we're trying to figure out exactly how to fix this issue here. This is a beautiful QIS status, and this is a new variety that I tried out this year. I'll talk to you a little bit more about this variety in a different video, but you can see how beautiful this is. It ranges from a darker yellow to a lighter yellow, like over there. And these here are some big duck gold marigolds. And this is a beautiful variety, really nice large flower heads. Very pretty, very heavy blooming. I did do a video on my channel for this variety. You can check that out on there. And this here is a Sunday series Celosia here. That's really pretty. And you can see I love the colors. And this is my feather top grass. This is a brand new variety for me that I grew this year, and it's very unique looking and I really like it. So I'm going to be doing a video later on this for this variety. You can see back here what the plant looks like, but it took a lot longer than what I thought it was going to bloom, but made a really nice container plant. And this is only one plant in here. So my African daisies are back there. Okay, here's that purple status I was telling you about. This is a beautiful, vibrant purple. And it's really pretty when you pair it like with orange and white. That pink too, that's really pretty when you pair it with the pinks. But that's a beautiful color there. And I love this straw flower over here. This one here, this is part of the Tom Thumb series. It's a dwarf straw flower. And I love this color. I've been collecting my own seeds for a few years now. And I've been planting my own. So they're more adapted to my growing climate. I do videos on my channel for how to collect heirloom seeds. And this is my mom's hydrangea bush. This is a beautiful blue one here. And this thing is blooming. It has a lot of blooms on it. My mom cut some and took some in the house for an arrangement that she put together. And here's some cone flowers here. So I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to give you some quick looks at some of the stuff that we have growing. So if you like my video, please like, comment, subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the little notification button. I'll try to put a new video on. Also follow me on Twitter. I'll have a link down in the description for my Twitter account. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Bye!